Board game expansions, according to the all-knowing Wikipedia, are additions to existing tabletop games, usually adding new objects, characters, adventures, or extended storylines to an already released game. How professional. Can we break it down in a way that I can understand easier? Let's ask again. What are expansions, and what do they mean to us as consumers? Are they ways to show your undying love for your box of cardboard and plastic? Yes. Are they ways for gaming companies to make you purchase more of the same once you're already in deep? Yep. Are they logistical nightmares for the flimsy inserts and limited space you have on your shelf? More often than not, yeah. But to simplify it, let's go through 5 major players in the many types of board game expansions on the market today. These are identified as extension, modular, holistic, standalone, and upgrade. Number 1 is extension. Extensions, I feel, are the easiest to implement into an already existing game. This type of board game expansion aims to add more of the good stuff, building up the skeletal backbone of the game. This means that they have a very strange role to play. Whether adding components to maintain a higher player count, more cards to shuffle into the decks, or more characters to play as, this type of expansion wants to be forgotten. Many instances of extensions can be used in tandem with the base components without new players ever knowing the difference, and that's by design. A designer may produce an expansion like this, so that even though it theoretically could be removed from the box and left aside to collect dust, there's really no reason not to keep it mixed in, or at the very least, within arm's reach. Examples of extensions include Catan's 5 to 6 player extension, Eldritch Horror's Forsaken Lore expansion, and Prelude for Terraforming Mars. Next up on our list is number 2, Modular. This one is similar to extension but with a twist. It is meant to be slotted in and removed at will. A module may simply be the map you are playing on, or the theme of the session, and it can extend all the way in complexity to completely overhaul the game, but only for one play session. Many times, modular expansions are not meant to be taught to new players, and they may, by design, even be removed from an experienced group for a more streamlined experience. The best example for this one is Everdell, and its many different modular expansions that are not meant to clash all at once, but others include Clank, The Mummy's Curse, and Ticket to Ride, The Heart of Africa. A holistic expansion is my absolute favorite type, and is also number 3 on our list. Holistic expansions are the largest, most complex, and most expensive types of expansions we have today. They usually build complexity into the base game, using systems already in place, like weaving Kevlar into your sweater. Unfortunately, like this example, they also become incredibly difficult to remove once they're in place. After playing with a holistic expansion, you may feel like a large chunk of the game is missing. If you enjoy the simplicity of the game, it may be a good idea to turn down these bottom-up renovations and use your hard-earned cash for a different game entirely instead. Examples include Twilight Imperium's Prophecy of Kings expansion, Jagged Earth for Spirit Island, or even King of Tokyo's Power Up. The home stretch of the list reaches us to number 4, the Standalone. This is incredibly rare as far as add-ons are concerned. A standalone expansion is a full game that can be played on its own, as either a smaller or just plainly different version of the base game. These largely attempt to decrease confusion for the consumer, as well as lower the price of entry if they are considering purchasing the game anyway. Many standalone expansions play in a similar way to either modular or extension-style expansions, but with that added playability straight out of the box. This may also help in giving them a more defined identity when seen on a shelf, removed from the game they originate from. Unfortunately, this also leads to them being confused for their similar counterparts, original titles within the same universe as a pre-existing game. Some people may walk to the shelf and think Frosthaven is simply a standalone expansion to Gloomhaven and be sorely mistaken. As scarce as standalones are, a few examples include all of the Disney Villainous boxes, Wingspan Asia, and Zombie Kittens, a part of the Exploding Kittens line. Finally, our number 5, the Upgrade. These are simple, either an overproduced empty box to hold all your previous expansions, better components to further enjoy the game, or any other way of improving the base game without adding new mechanics or rules to keep track of. These are easy to sell to those of us who have sold our soul to every box a gaming company has put in front of us, but not so easy to sell to the average consumer. You may have to look deep for these, as they are usually limited run or only sold directly on the manufacturer's website. Scythe's realistic resources, Smash Up's bigger, geekier box, or even just plain old card sleeves can be examples of this type of expansion. Hey, thanks for watching! If you like this recap and want to hear more, please subscribe. And if you're here, you may love us enough to support us on Patreon. Check out that in the description below or on screen. I've been Ethan, and I'll see you next time on the Cardboard Crash Course.